Welcome to the Iron Will podcast, where we talk about overcoming adversity and challenges, creating the life we truly want, and how we use iron therapy to improve our mind and body. No matter what life throws at us, we need to develop an iron will to push through whatever stands in the way to becoming the very best version of ourselves. It's never too late, but now is the time for action. Welcome to episode 203 of the Iron Will podcast. Live your life like a craftsman. One of the things I really admire about people who are craftsmen, people that work with their hands, that create things, is how they focus on the details and how meticulous they are. They follow a process. They have tools. They don't rush it. They understand that it takes time to develop, but they're consistent. So if you're ever watching those shows on the television, how they make a knife, how they make stained glass, a sculptor, a painter. Who's that crazy guy that did the paintings a lot in the 70s and the 80s, had a show? He was a white guy with a big afro. Do you know what I'm talking about? He talked really calm all the time. Oh, come on. Bob something. Jesus. We'll put that in the show notes. Not Jesus. We all know who Jesus is. But he would start with this canvas, and it was mesmerizing. Even if you watch, I just watched an episode the other day. And, he just has a certain way about doing things. He has this palette of paints. He starts with a blank canvas, and then he just starts going at it. He just starts dabbing here, mixing a paint there. He's talking the whole time. He's in the zone. And as he's going through this, as we're watching this, a picture begins to unfold. And it takes life, it takes shape right in front of us. And I think it's hypnotic. I think if I was a guy who did drugs, I'd sit there stoned and watching this guy all the time. But I think if we learn to live our life that way, if we learn to treat ourselves like the craftsmen of our lives, if we sat there and used the tools that we know and got better at our craft, at designing a purposeful, driven life. We've talked many episodes and many occasions about using a journal, about having a ritual. Well, these are the tools. These are the things we need to do on a consistent basis. And done consistently and mastered, amazing things will unfold in front of us on our canvas. And as you know, we've gone through some changes, closing a business, working harder on a new brand, changing the podcast, adapting, improvising, pivoting. But those things happen more efficiently when we approach it like a craftsman, like a builder, like a creator. I think part of the problem is we don't put enough emphasis on just how special our lives are. And how we really do have more control than we realize on the outcome of our lives and what we're doing and what we're creating for ourselves. But make no mistake, we are the craftsman. In fact, we're the only craftsman that's going to be able to work on our life, on creating the life that we truly want, on becoming the person we really want to become. I saw a really cool post the other day on Facebook, and it said, hey, for Halloween, why don't you dress up as a person you're pretending to be on Facebook? And I thought that was really, really funny, but really, really apt. On Facebook, we tend to put the best of our lives. What's true, what we're proud of, what we're happy, the positivity, we create an image. I think what happens is we look at a lot of times our personalities on Facebook. I think that's the place where we're really trying to put it out there who we want to be, who we wish we were, who we want to be better. And I think that is something we could use as a tool, as a reflection. There's a thing out there called body dysmorphia, where you look at a mirror and you see yourself in a different way than you truly are. Some people think they're too fat, so they have eating disorder. So no matter how skinny they become, they see themselves as gross and overweight. There's a thing in the bodybuilding world, that body dysmorphia, muscle dysmorphia, where no matter how big and lean the person gets, they see themselves as that smaller, weaker person. But what they're seeing is not the physical representation of what's out there. What they're seeing is that mental manifestation. We all know people that no matter what's happening around them, they're always going to be depressed. The yeah buts. No matter what is going on, they're yeah but this, yeah but that. It's because in their mind they want to be there. Or they're stuck there. Or a combination of both. I think from time to time we're all going to fall into that. Over the last 60 days, big challenges. There's been days where I've been, beat up. There's been days where I'm like, what am I doing? There's been days like where I see myself as a failure, for sure. Deep down, that's not how I believe or what I believe. But in our dark moments, we're going to go there. But again, go back to the tools of the craftsman. If I follow the rituals, if I journal, if I exercise every day, if I eat better, that's what pulls us out of that funk. That's what keeps us moving forward. That's what energizes us, empowers us. One of the things I like to do in the morning now is take my daughter into school because it makes me get up. And then once I'm up and moving, it's easier for me to go and do my cardio in the morning. And then when I'm done my cardio, I'm a lot more awake. But I started the day on a positive note. I come home, I have a quick little meal, crack open the journal, do some writing, plan out the day, and boom, take action. On the mornings where I don't take my daughter in, if my wife takes her in, well, you know what happens? I sleep till 9:30. My schedule's a little different now, obviously. I work from home, so whether I start my day at 10 in the morning, 8 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, it doesn't matter. But I find for my own structure, it's better when I get up a little bit earlier and get those fundamentals in. So if I know I have a busy day tomorrow, the next day, and I want to get more accomplished, I actually ask my daughter to make sure she wakes me up so I take her into school. Because I'll get up to take her into school. It's important. Whereas if it's just for me, it's easy to roll over and hit snooze. Again, another tool in the toolbox. Guys who work construction, guys who are mechanics, girls too, will tell you, often you'll hear this, especially within the older ones, the ones that have been doing it a long time, the right tool for the right job. But what if we approach things as a craftsman? Our only project is ourselves. Improving ourselves mentally and physically, spiritually, emotionally. Because what else are we going to do? What else really matters? What we do instead is we occupy ourselves with things. With TV, the internet, drama, at work, at home. We're hockey parents. There's fucking drama all day long. You get caught up in that shit. But we let ourselves get caught up in that shit because it's filling a void. Or it's taking our focus away from the things that we don't want to face, that we don't want to deal with because it's uncomfortable, because it is going to be work. But step by step, with a purpose, it's not that hard. It's not easy. But again, go back to a craftsman. Watch how they do what they're doing. I don't care if they're building a fence. I don't care if they're building a house. I don't care if they're tearing down an engine and rebuilding it. There's a process. There's a way that they do it. The ones that have mastered, the ones that are truly good. My favorite thing about Anthony Robbins is he talks about if you want to see how someone does something, if you want to be better at something that you want to be better at, find someone who's really good at them, good at what you want to be or doing, and just mimic them. Follow them. Do what they do. You don't always have to understand every step, but start to walk a mile in their shoes and things start to become more apparent. Things start to change. First thing in the morning, get up earlier, half an hour earlier. Get some exercise in. If you're out of shape, it's okay. Don't make it crazy. Go for a walk. I'm on the stationary bike every morning. When I started back in December 2018, it was barely 3 to 5 minutes with no tension on it. Now it's 35 to 40 minutes. My tension's a lot higher and stuff like that. I get a nice little sweat going. But I make it so that I've built it over time. So I'm not going in there into a crushing workout. I say that for the heavy bodybuilding, powerlifting workouts, the ones I'm much more amped about. But I'll tell you, now that I'm going in every morning and doing cardio, and my heart rate is at a better place, and I'm in a better zone, and I'm sweating, and I'm moving, and I'm healing better because of blood flow, when I get to my bigger workouts in the evening, I'm able to hammer them at a much higher level because I'm in a better place physically. But it starts with the consistency of that little bit of cardio every morning. Build on it. Create that ritual. I always say there's 3 things if you want to really make changes, start doing. Get up a little bit earlier, move first thing in the morning, and journal. If you work those 3 things for 21 days, you are going to be in a different place. Those are your tools. Become a craftsman. Master those tools. Get better at it. And don't worry about how good you are to start, because no one is good at everything when they start. In fact, very few people are. You're going to stumble. You're going to fumble. Go back to the first time you did anything that mattered. You weren't very good at it. And odds are you held back on it for a lot longer than you should have because you felt you weren't good enough. But the key is to start now, and build on it. Become the craftsman of your life. Guys, that's all I have to say on that. Head on over to ironhorsegear.com. Use the code IRONWILL to save 20% off some killer hoodies. We're just dropping some new stuff almost every couple of weeks now. We got a lot of cool designs. That's the one thing that's really sharp now that I've got more time and more focus on our brand. I'm getting more things out. We're doing more cool things. And as always, guys and girls, work hard, motherfuckers. And I'll talk to you guys later.